to Incoming, the vidcast that looks back at the week's historical miniatures releases. This is episode 6, which looks back at the miniatures released for week ending June the 5th, 2009, and I'm your host for the show, Neil Shuck. Well, it was looking like a fairly quiet week until very late in the week where everything seemed to come at once. So I have got another top 10 for you this week. Starting off at number 10, we have the latest releases from Wargames Factory. These are their 28mm Numidian Infantry. All the separate sprues have just been released and the box set is due out very shortly. As you can see from these pictures, this box is designed so you can utilise multiple different poses. And they certainly look to be an interesting addition to Wargames Factory's range of ancient Roman figures. Number 9 this week we have some workbench figures from the Assault Group. Now these are examples of their new Neapolitan Spanish troops, and these are arquebuses and crossbow troops. They certainly look like an interesting addition to TAG's range of figures. I'm looking forward to seeing the finished articles. Number 8 we have what is becoming one of my favourite recent 15mm Napoleonic ranges, and that's campaign game miniatures. Following on from their recent releases of French cavalry and British cavalry, we now have British line infantry. Now I know there is a huge range of 15mm Napoleonic troops out there, but even so, these do look like nice figures. I think there's always room for some nicely sculpted figures in people's collections. Number 7 we have first of 2 new releases this week from Legio Heroica. These are Fatimid infantry from their Crusades and Holy War range. Now this is one of their ranges where you can't quite put your finger on it, but they really appeal. Very impressed with these figures. Coming at number 6 is, well, Flames of War. Now it's not often that I put Flames of War figures in on something like this, but this particular piece really appealed to me. It's actually a tournament entry prize that Battlefront have put together, so I don't know if it's ever going to be generally available, but this is a German officer and staff car. I just think it's a really nice looking model. Number 5 this week, a new company to me, that's Tiger Miniatures, and this is from their Colonial range, and it's a German gun and crew. I think it's the character and poses of this particular piece really appealed to me. I'm not normally a huge Colonial Wars fan, but again I thought this looked really nice. I do seem to have a thing for artillery and crews in recent weeks, don't I? Staying with Colonial theme, and I guess you knew these were coming at some point in time. These are some of the new additions to the Perry's Sudan range. The Perry's announced a large set of additions to their ranges this week, but we didn't actually get very many pictures. However, what we have seen are, as usual, absolutely superb. So we have a couple of command packs here from their British Sudanese infantry. Just, well, great things from the Perry's. Into the top 3, and yes, we finally get a tank this week. But again, unusually, this is Flames of War. Now, I think this time round, what appealed to me was the subject matter, as I have a bit of a soft spot for Sturm Tigers. They are just a great, brutal looking tank, but you don't get very many people that make them. This is one of the latest releases again for Flames of War, in 15mm. This is a good looking model which just shows off this awesome brute of a tank. Into number 2, and yes, it's those Perry British Riflemen again. I know they appeared in my list a couple of weeks ago when the Greens first came out, but I could not include them again on their official release. These are just fantastic models. If it's possible, they look even better painted than when we first saw the Greens. Just awesome stuff. The Perry's at their best, I think. But I didn't feel I could give them a number 1 twice. Definitely one of my favourite releases of the week. So what is my number 1? Well, it's back to the Legio Heroica range. As well as releasing Fatimids for their Crusades range, they've also released some Feudal Lords. And I mean, I'm always a sucker for medieval armoured knights, and these just look really amazing. Sometimes I'm not the hugest fan of 15mm, but the detail and character that are included in these figures is just superb. What can I say? They just touch that spot for me which makes me love them. I think they're really great. As someone who doesn't really know the company that well, I've been very impressed by their releases this week. So that's it for another week. As I say, from a very quiet start to the week, it's actually become very difficult to choose a top 10. And I'm sure this week you may not agree with me, but that's kind of part of what lists are all about, isn't it? So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Take care, and I'll chat with you again soon. Bye.